I got a podcast tomorrow with the American sports show I do. They're bringing on a hockey guy, and I do all their clips. I'm like, listen, you talk any shit about Canada, I ain't clipping nothing.
720p.
Yeah, no, 340.
That's crazy.
Audio only clip.
I'm screaming. It's beef. It's beef.
But yes, you already know what it is, what you're tuned into, what you're vibing with. It's the Mayor's Office Podcast, baby. And I'm your host, Ralph, a.k.a. The Mayor, a.k.a. The Last Mayor Bender, a.k.a. Thankful for the premiere, Doug Ford. You know what happened today? I went in my mailbox, and usually in my mailbox, I get multiple things. I get spam mail. You know what I'm saying? The shitty mail that you don't want, man.
Spam.
HelloFresh.
Bills.
I get bills.
Good food.
Good food's another one, man.
Yeah.
Good foods, they stay in my mailbox.
You get them one time and it's just...
I don't know how they're making money. They keep giving out these cards of like 10 free meals. I don't know how Good Food and HelloFresh are making money.
I never thought about that.
Buddy, they're feeding the streets.
Feeding the streets. So I get that usually, and I get my bills. But today I got something special, something from the government. And I thought it was just going to be like, yo, vote for this person, whatever. So I get upstairs, whatever, I rip it open, and I see a check for $200.
Okay, one more time for the money.
I seen a check for $200. Shout outs to the premiere. This is not an ad. I know it's campaign time, but I like that $200. It was great timing. Post Valentine's Day.
Oh my goodness, perfect timing.
Damn, that was like a whole bouquet.
What's Valentine's Day?
I don't know. You got to watch our blind date video to understand the full extent of that. Chris, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How we looking?
Looking good.
How we smelling?
Pretty good still. Pretty good.
And how are we sounding today?
We're sounding pretty crispy, buddy. We're sounding pretty crisp. Pretty clean. Not crispy. We're sounding clean.
I like it. I like it. I don't do this podcast by myself. I do it with two of my amazing co-hosts. Number one, the owner of 1990 Studios. A lot of you people are seeking ownership in this world and aren't able to do it. But this brother said, fuck it, I can. Chris Stacks Edwards, talk to him.
Hey, what's going on, people? It's the Mayor's Office Podcast. It's your boy, Chris, a.k.a. Stacks, a.k.a. Not going to share my Twitter name, but either way, tap in, man. It's the Mayor's Office Podcast. We're here again, baby.
And this brother right here, man, there's not enough words in the dictionary to describe his talent, man.
There probably are.
Yeah. He has an amazing first name, very intricate, but he has a greater last name because he's always smiling. Mr. Smiley. The podfather himself, Adriel Smiley, talk to him.
I'm happy to be here. Blessed and highly favored. For anyone listening to this, we were recording this during the middle of some of the biggest, baddest snow we've had all year.
Crazy.
So don't question our dedication because we're here in the middle of that snow.
Adriel made it here, man. Big treks. You know, my boys be coming from the east.
I feel like I've been driving most of the day, honestly.
Crazy. Adriel, I got a question for you, though. What episode are we on today?
71.
Episode 71. We've done 71 episodes of the Mayor's Office Podcast. And on this 71st episode, I'd like to wish everybody a good day.
Everybody?
Not everybody a good day.
Okay.
The people that don't want to wish a good day are the people that purposefully don't shovel their neighbor's driveway. And I'm not talking about the asshole neighbors. We'll get into that in a second.
Yes.
I'm talking about the nice neighbors. You know what I mean? Mrs. Ann, that is a single mother next door, and you decide,
Ann, I love
and
that.
you decide to not shovel her snow, knowing that she has two kids of the age of 8 and 6.
Disgusting.
Why don't you just shovel your neighbor's snow, especially if they're good people? If they're not, leave it be. I get it. But if you're already outside, you might as well just lend a helping hand. How do you guys feel about that?
I guess I gotta agree. But I live in a neighborhood where everyone really handles their own. Some people do some sharing of actual, what do you call these, utensils, you know, not applications. What am I thinking of? This
Snow shovels?
No,
Plows?
not snow shovel.
Utilities?
Utilities, not even utilities.
Lawns?
No.
Lawn mowers? Snow blowers.
Snow blowers.
Oh, okay.
We got to it.
Isn't a snow plow? What's the difference between a snow plow and a snow blower?
Snow plow is like, I think on the, you connect it to your car.
Oh, okay. And the snow blower is the actual machine that blows it out.
Like a lawnmower.
Got you.
So that was super easy. I got that the first time, but people share snow blowers. So I think like that's adjacent to what you're talking about. It's like I might not actually do your lawn for you or your, street for you, but take my snowblower, do what you got to do. So
do you guys shovel your neighbors' driveways?
I do not.
Yeah. Oh man, I thought it was a rule. Like if you have a conjoint, my driveway is joined up with my neighbors.
Okay.
So it's like whoever's out there first, you just go back and forth.
Oh, you're in a semi-detached.
Yeah. No, I'm in a townhouse. So like.
Oh, you're in a townhouse. Okay, Adriel's in a mansion, so his neighbor's driveway is like.
You can't be out there shoveling like 6-car driveways.
Nah, it's impossible.
One family.
What am I thinking? Adriel's driveway is heated too.
Of course, he's got the coils.
Come on,
Yeah,
6 cars unheated.
What were you thinking?
But I fell on Adriel's driveway one time. My butt wasn't it was hot. It was just hot.
Yeah, I think that's more, at least for my situation, is like in the summertime with the lawn. Like whoever gets on the lawn first, you know, try and do your part. But it's still a little iffy because you don't want to go too far and I'm all of a sudden like in your driveway. You know what I'm saying? But like I'll at least do the line a little over so you got less to do. You know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I do think you should in your situation you named where it's Miss Anne and she has 2 kids who are 6 and 8 causing trouble. You know,
help her out.
She needs the help.
Help her out.
The lawn's tricky though, especially with like certain dudes. It's like sometimes you gotta. It's like I can't just go mow another man's lawn. I don't know is he a diagonal guy?
I'm okay with not doing the
guy. You know?
True. How does he want to quaff?
Yeah, like if we work it out, we're like, okay, I got this one, you got next week. Nobody cares how it's done, but like certain people, you know, they got certain lawn etiquette. That
the lawn is okay. The snow, it's a little more universal.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So I don't know.
And snow, you don't care how it's taken up. You're like, get rid of this.
Just get it out of here.
No one clears the snow and is like, you clear that diagonally? We don't do it like that. No one ever says that.
My mom used to ask me to do a lot of things, like when I was in my teens, you know what I mean? And we had a house, right? She used to ask me to do a lot of things, wash the dishes. Sometimes I didn't do it. You know what I mean? I was a bad kid. But I felt bad. I didn't want my mother, a single mother, to be out there shoveling the snow. So I got my ass up and I shoveled that snow.
The least you could do.
The least I could do.
Yeah.
But I'm saying all this while I live in a condo now. So
yeah, no, it doesn't relate to you at all.
At all. But I do feel for Miss Anne and her 2 kids.
That was the one thing that I didn't enjoy coming back home was dealing with the snow. Because that's the thing is like when you're in a condo like yourself, I was in a hotel room, I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like I gotta maybe clean my balcony and maybe that's
niggas at the balcony with some coffee looking at all the peons in the morning.
So it's like it didn't really relate to me at all.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so now that you've wished happy, 71 to some people
for sure
and not to others, let's go through some facts in 71. Now, we're getting to one of my favorite eras in human history and American history. I call this a cult era, okay? People threw traditional religion to the side and, things that they thought were true for many years changed. This one, I think, is big because it happened at the beginning of the year, January 1st. Cigarette ads banned on TV. I've never seen a cigarette ad on TV in my lifetime.
No.
And it feels like it makes sense. Now, my question for you guys is, do you think there will ever be a time where we have weed ads on TV?
No. I think cannabis ads are a no-no. And just because smoking ads and alcohol ads are a no-no. So to put cannabis ads up are crazy.
But they have alcohol ads.
The beer ads.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to actually drink, sorry. Like in it. You're not allowed to during the look it up.
Right. Yeah,
look it up.
I think
during any alcohol commercial, you're not actually allowed to.
Well, that's
sip
true.
alcohol.
They more cheers.
Is that alcohol?
No.
It's good.
It's bubbly.
I'll show you all an ad.
You want to see an ad, buddy?
No, you're right because they cheers, but
nothing happens after every time.
I guess you can cheers a joint. Is that the same?
I guess I do it all the time. But
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I think you may be right, but you know what though? I think that it could possibly change because the one thing that you see watching certain sports is how many alcohol ads there are. Like hockey, obviously, is a king. Like alcohol ads, basically every single commercial break.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it's almost like ingrained in the culture. It doesn't seem that weird when you watch it. But if you're watching it as someone who either doesn't drink or doesn't really watch sports, it's kind of a lot of alcohol ads.
What major sports would you guys say relate to alcohol the most? Like beers. Like when you see the sport, you're like, the drink I'm gonna drink is a beer.
I would say hockey. Or football.
Hockey or football?
Hockey, football. I was gonna throw baseball in there too.
Baseball's in there too.
True.
Yeah.
I think basketball's the only one where you're like, I don't need a beer right now.
Yeah. That's actually so true. Basketball's just like you don't need to associate with that. Well, I thought basketball would be the one to have the weed ads.
Okay, Matt Barnes.
Okay, Kevin Durant. Because weed is legal in the NBA now.
It is, yeah.
They took that away, so I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And then as well, there's a lot of ex-players who are involved in the cannabis space.
100%.
In a medical sense.
100%.
And I do think that's probably the sport people like smoke and watch. Like, it makes some sense. Like,
NBA, I'm more of a mixed drink for an NBA. Like, I'll get like a rum and Coke and watch an NBA game if I was there. But yeah, the other sports is definitely a beer. Like if I'm going to watch the Jays, I'm definitely going to get a beer and like some snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little hot dog action, go with the beer, you know?
Yeah, a little glizzy action.
Okay, let's move on. Phil Esposito became the quickest player to score 50 goals in a season.
Wow.
In 71.
Okay.
Chris, you remember how much games it took for him to score 51? Or score 50 goals in a season?
In one season?
Yeah. Quickest to 50. I think he had 73 this season, but it was quickest to 50.
I want to say like 42 games.
So I couldn't even find it because so many dudes have passed it at this point. But those were different times. That's kind of why I loved hockey growing up. Is it feel like the stats can still match with the older, play of the game. It's like not totally the same, but I don't feel like him having this record in 71 means it doesn't mean anything.
True.
When I feel like in other sports, some old records, you kind of like, how much weight does that hold?
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is I think goaltending is a big thing too, because back in that day, goalies didn't go down. They didn't do the butterfly. It was all stand up, smaller pads, no mask on too. So they're like, so I think it was easier to score and people couldn't skate as well as they can
That's
now.
true.
Nowadays,
Definitely.
It's like
so many good skaters. Yeah,
there's a lot more like, there's a lot more need for like a guy who can hit really well, tough guys. Now it's like you get a lot more, just everybody, even the fourth liner can like skate like crazy.
Because you know what you see in old highlights and like 60s, 70s, sometimes 80s hockey is a coast to coast goal. Yeah. Like now it's like a huge, it's cool when it happens.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I see so many 70s highlights of hockey, it's so much coast to coast goals. Yeah. And you're like, yo, ain't nobody doing nothing. No. So I think that's a big part of what you're saying about who can skate.
Yeah, I think you brought up a great question that nobody's really asked. What sport had the least development, like from the olden times or inception up until now?
The least development? What do you mean by least development? Like
see, the NBA included the 3-point line from inception till now.
Oh, it's most like the original game.
Yeah.
Oh, baseball for sure.
Baseball?
Yeah.
I was going to say soccer, but yeah, baseball's up there too. For sure.
Soccer, the athleticism is just different, I think.
Yeah, a lot of running.
But the game itself is the same.
But that's why baseball is it, because athleticism in baseball...
it doesn't really...
you guys know Prince Fielder.
Yeah, no, they're like, these guys have guts and are playing with a hat on their pants.
Yeah, fair.
So...
Chewing tobacco on the side.
Yeah.
Beers in the fucking dugout. Yeah, good point.
I think baseball is probably... But soccer probably be number 2.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, soccer be number 2. I'm trying to think what else would be up there. Basketball and hockey, I think, are the
two. They change a lot.
Yeah.
I guess it's almost the different kinds of players in those two, because it's like both of those have more bigger skilled players. The rest of the sports have like skilled players at like every size still. Like hockey and basketball, you have the dudes who are the biggest person on the court, field, ice, who's like super skilled. Yeah. That wasn't always the case, So I think that's probably a bit of it.
And the individual sports have stayed relatively the same. Tennis, golf, wrestling, like they're all pretty much the same from inception till now.
Yeah.
So. I love that you included wrestling in this.
I watched sorry, we're getting on a tangent, but I watched a documentary. Well, no, not a documentary. It's a movie based on somebody. What's that called again?
The Wrestler?
Oh, no, the one with Zac Efron?
No. But what's it called? Like when it's based off of somebody.
Oh, biopic?
Yeah, I watched a biopic. It was about this guy. He had one leg and he was like a D1 wrestler.
Okay.
Yeah. He was a D1 wrestler in the States. So he became a national champion too.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Robbie Reyes. So he was hopping around pretty good.
Yeah, but you're right. Wrestling feels like it's mostly the same.
It is. Yeah.
For sure. This one I think is interesting. May 3rd, 1971. All Things Considered premieres on National Public Radio. That's what NPR became today.
Mm-hmm.
So I think NPR is what, 50-something years old?
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think about that when I think of all the tiny desks. And I'm like, would the creators of NPR been okay with Juvenile at their tiny desk?
Hey, man, we talked about development in sports, development in
Yeah, I guess that has to account for something. But that one...
Juvenile killed that, by the way.
No, absolutely ate. Disney World opens up.
Wow.
How do you guys feel about that?
71, eh?
Yeah, Disney World is like its own little world. Like it's its own big world.
Yeah, I still want to go to the one in Japan. Like that's on my bucket list.
Yeah,
for sure.
same. Yeah. I went to the one in Miami. I understand why people like it. I think it being a whole personality as an adult again, a little too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
All the Disney adults out there, your body, your choice. I still love you, but I wouldn't. But I understand why people like it a lot. I could get with them on that.
Yeah. Now I've never personally been to Disneyland, but what I did hear is it's the most scooters you've seen at an amusement park. A lot of people scooting.
Yeah,
a lot of people not walking, scooting around.
It's a big amusement park.
Yeah.
Like that was what I wanted to see the most, was like it compared to like Canadian amusement parks, because everyone says the American amusement parks are like a whole different. And we see the videos online where it's like, is this even legal? How they even doing this?
Yeah.
So it was a big park. I was like walking all over this thing.
Yeah.
It's like you got one round. If I don't do everything in the first round, I'm tired after that. The sentencing of Charles Manson. This is like, again, the cult era is here.
Boy.
Yeah, I just been thinking about, we don't have these kind of criminals who are as famous anymore, which is technically a good thing.
Yeah.
And maybe that means that like criminal activity is just so prevalent that these guys aren't as
Somebody's got to step up their game, man. Maybe I try something, man.
Yeah, you don't want to fit
banks
in.
out there. What was the last bank robbery you heard?
Oh my goodness.
We got to bring those back.
Yeah, facts.
But it's like, what is the last like big criminal case or criminal that we had that wasn't already a celebrity? Like OJ don't count, you know what I mean?
Luigi,
like,
I guess.
Luigi's probably, but it's like, yeah, Luigi's probably the closest. Yeah.
What about that dude who was like killing dudes? That old guy that was like killing people, the gay guys in Toronto.
Oh,
remember that guy for a minute? He was like in Peterborough or something.
Yeah,
I mean, we could forget his names. We don't need to remember.
Yeah, we don't need to remember. Shout out to Luigi, though. We'll remember you.
Yeah. But you're right. He's probably the one. But you know what I think? I think now the media does a better job of like kind of subduing those guys.
100%. Not making them famous.
Yeah, because it's not as much of a spectacle. Because, we know what happens.
Yeah, if it bleeds, it bleeds.
If it bleeds is right. And then the last one, a music one. You wanted some black facts.
Yes.
This one is a great black fact.
Black facts.
I actually didn't know this. 11th album from this artist. It's called What's Going On. And it was considered the best album of all time by critic surveys in 2020, 1997, and 1985. The artist? Any guesses? The album's called What's Going On? Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye,
yeah. Marvin. I didn't know this was his 11th album.
That's crazy at that time. It's his 11th?
Yeah, 11th album. But I guess they're releasing albums often, and he had his whole thing with the label too, so maybe that was part of it. But a legendary album released at that time. I think that's pretty incredible.
Shout out to one of the GOATs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one day we got to do like an all-time album draft.
That would be crazy. Yeah. That is going to get us in some hot water and cold water at the same time, depending on who you like.
Yeah. But I think there's something there. There's something there.
I like it.
Yeah. What I did like is y'all's commentating for that blind date recap.
Yes. The listeners, if you haven't watched the blind date recap, if you haven't watched the blind date video, what are you guys doing? Adriel stepped up his game, man. He took one of his 5 senses away. The one that he uses the least.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he's judging women.
Yeah, of course.
Allegedly.
Of course.
He removed sight, and he was able to sit down with our guest. Big shout outs to Alicia that was able to pull up to the studio. And yeah, we had a great time. You guys ate some good food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was some good laughter. Alicia was laughing a lot.
Yeah, after I heard a couple chuckles, I was like, I ain't doing so bad. I'm not good enough for a second date. But not doing so bad.
And you guys vibed. I don't think we get you guys to an attraction level mutually. But in terms of energy, I think you guys clicked.
Yeah, like, and she said this, I don't know if she said this before or after, but it's like, she would recommend me to one of her girls.
She did say that.
But not for her. That's a compliment.
That's big.
You know,
You're not my type, but I can see the potential.
She did say that like 45 times.
She did say that. But it was a good vibe. I hope everybody gets a chance to watch it. We'll be dropping clips and just dropping little things throughout it. Like, that was a very interesting endeavor for the mayor's office.
Yeah, I was saying to Chris that might be the last one I do. We're gonna see how this year goes.
Yeah, fair.
Because I may not be permitted to do that in the future.
Yeah,
but I was great that I did it while I could. You know, maybe for next Valentine's Day, we'll take suggestions and see what you guys want to see.
Yeah, if you want us to set up to strangers, let us know, and maybe we're in the back commentating. We could work something out, but if you guys like that content style, like, we can definitely do something for y'all.
Yeah. Maybe we can, like, we might be the facilitators of love.
Cupid,
like, instead of the recipients of love.
Yeah. We got so much love going around. We gotta show other people, like, hey, you can have this too.
There you go. So we got you, Pam. We're gonna get you on for one of these.
I would love to see that.
That would be amazing, actually.
Okay, but we got to blindfold Pam.
Yes.
But Pam be the one who's blindfolded?
Yes.
I see her on a blind date. What do you think the first question Pam's going to ask?
How tall are you? No.
That's something I was going to say too.
Do you like Jimmy Butler?
Do you like
Jimmy Butler?
Oh, man.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
You know what's not funny?
Tell me.
What's been going on with the planes lately?
The plane's the planet.
Like, crazy. There's something going on. There's some frequency that's not hidden, man. I don't know what's going on.
Did you guys see that tweet that there's apparently been 9 plane crashes so far in 2025?
Only in February. That's wild.
Yeah,
wow.
February. That plane crash that happened, I think it was a Delta flight. So we're recording this on Tuesday. It happened on Monday the 17th. I was supposed to fly back on the Saturday the 16th.
Wow.
And my flight got canceled. Took the train. Whole separate story. Friend of the show, Bridget.
Shout out to Bridget.
Was flying to Mexico City that same day. And so I was checking in on her, just, making sure she's good. I checked the news, checked Twitter. I see a plane upside down.
Oh no!
Crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. The video. Have you guys seen the videos coming out from that?
Yeah, I saw the landing. I saw people getting out of the plane.
How do you feel about that? Because that's where we're at right now, where something happens. It's like someone is videotaping it. Like, obviously the news needs that footage and things like that, but it's kind of like you're going through something that's supposed to be traumatizing or could be traumatizing, and you got your phone out taking a video of it.
Yeah, that's just where we are in society right now. Like, we see issues instead of trying to do something. Well, I guess in that scenario, you can't really do anything but record if you're from afar. But our first instinct is to record. I find that shit scary as fuck. Like, I'd be living in the moment and trying to figure out what's going on as opposed to busting my phone out and trying to get some views. But
I got a question related to the plane. If you knew that you'd be in this little accident, but you're gonna be fine, would you want to be in it? Like, for the story? What? Like, say you knew you were gonna go on this plane, but they're like, all right, guess what? It's gonna crash, but then you can be like, yo, I survived a plane crash. That's a pretty cool story to have.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Would you still do it? Like, would you, if you knew you did, you live, but then you're like, I'm also going to be able to say.
Okay. You landed the plane. Yeah. I get what you're saying now.
Like, would you take that flight?
I would take the flight.
Yeah.
Strictly for the content.
Yeah. I was literally going to say yes. I think I'm going to say no.
Oh.
Because I think the feeling of the plane like crashing, even though I know it's every time I fly, that's gonna be like
that might traumatize you in a different way too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, even though I know I'm gonna be okay, every time a plane just like dips a little lower.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about the long term effects.
You're like,
I'm trying to get famous.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about like the initial story. I'm like, that'd be pretty sick on my resume.
It'd be a dope story. Yeah.
And that's if you know in advance, like you could really, really get your content up. Like that's like 8 posts.
Yeah, maybe you get like an extra angle together or something like that.
Shit,
make sure your audio's proper.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
You can just jump in and be like the hero because you're like, all right.
Everybody relax.
I got this.
I know what's gonna happen. They're gonna think I'm a terrorist.
100%.
But big prayers to everybody that came out as survivors. There was no casualties, so
Yeah. Thank God.
Thank God for that. Yeah, it's been crazy. It makes me want to hesitate on flying going forward. I still I have a couple trips that I'm planning to do this year, so just praying for safety and yeah.
One place I do want to go to that I've never been, and let's speak into existence on the podcast because this year's the year. London, England. I got family over London, there. Yeah. I got people over there.
Yeah.
Everyone who's been over there, they're like, some people say that I'll like it, but they're like, not only will you like it, London will like you. I said, I like how that sounds. I like how that sounds.
That's so appealing.
Yeah, London, I feel like gotta be the move at least sometime this year. And you know, the music scene in London is like,
it's growing.
Yeah.
It's top tier.
Yeah.
London putting best music out in the world. I'll say it right now. Better than America.
Ooh,
better than Canada. And it's not close. London putting out the best music.
That's a hot take.
Question.
Okay.
Yeah.
No question.
Well, they also have such a very diverse sound over there.
They do.
The house music, the Caribbean influence,
Oh yeah, if you're throwing I'm still stuck on hip hop and R&B, but if you're throwing everything in, I would
still say hip hop and R&B.
Wow.
Yeah, for
really?
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. All the UK rappers are better than American rappers. Central C is like a mid-tier UK rapper. And y'all in America think that he's like super nice. No one in the UK thinks he's super nice.
He's accessible to us up here. That's
why. Yeah. So I think, the UK would be where I'd want to go. And I really want to see this festival they got going on, Wireless. I'm sure y'all heard of it.
Yeah.
Drake is doing 3 nights in a row. Like, that would be something to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 nights in a row would be dope. I saw the the people he's going to be performing with. I think the Sunday looks really good to me. I think that's something I would...
Burna Boy and Vibes Cartel.
Yeah, that combo is crazy to me.
That would be... I wonder what they're going to do, because I seen Burna Boy live. Burna Boy definitely would outperform Drake. Like, Burna Boy is a real performer.
I think even if you take Drake out of the equation, just...
That's what I'm saying.
Burna Boy and Vibes is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, if it was just them two, they would sell out regardless.
Yeah,
you throw Drake in the mix, it's like...
Drake's going to show up and yell. Like, he don't even got to say nothing.
So, yeah, that day looked the most appealing. I think day 2 was like Drake and Friends.
Drake and the Mandem.
So, it's going to be Central, maybe Dave and a couple people.
Yeah, Scappy, like, I think, you know.
But that's Sunday. Yeah. If I could go to London anytime, I think that Sunday would be the time.
That Sunday, you might find something. Something might find you.
What's going on the Friday?
Party Next Door and Summer Walker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
Also a day to find something.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot going on. But it made me think of 2 things, because a few weeks ago, Rolling Loud, the creator of Rolling Loud, said that he wanted Drake to do the same thing at Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
And he said, we tried to book Drake 3 nights in a row, all Drake. So when I saw this, I said, okay, good move. Doing this at Wireless instead of Rolling Loud was a good move.
I think it was a good move for him.
But who else could you think do this, like, 3 nights in a row, all the same artists? Because they did say it's 3 different set lists. So thinking about to have 3 set lists worth of music.
Just rappers? We're going?
Artists, period. Because rappers, the list is very small.
Rappers is just probably Travis.
Yeah, Travis is the one person I thought
and
of.
And even 3 sets,
Kanye,
3 different set lists. It's tough for Travis too.
Well, he could. I think
he could do it, but it'd be tough.
He could send us around a certain album and time period. Like before Astroworld time, and then like the present.
The present would be a little bit of a squeeze. Yeah. But overall, he
got the Fiend a couple times.
He could. Obviously, Ye for sure.
Yeah. Ye, I think would be in his prime. Even now, I think if he did the old songs, but
for sure.
Ye would be someone who would be an amazing to have 3 different sets.
I think that's about it, to be honest.
Yeah, like who's another hip hop act like it? I guess Eminem could do it.
He could, Hove could, but it's like those 2 it's kind of a stretch to get the crowd into it. I mean,
Hove is a stretch, because I think by night 2 he's doing B-sides. I think the other guys are doing hits every night. I don't think
M can do it, bro. I don't think M can do it.
I think M could, maybe not. Maybe just a 2.
I think he could do 2 days.
Yeah.
I think he could do 2 days for sure.
Yeah, M's got a lot of like middle stuff that you could just leave.
And it's too rappy. Like
it's like, when are you doing Love the Way You Lie? Like, I don't want to hear that, but that's like...
No, that has to be on the set list for him for sure.
Yeah, the person who's not a rapper who could probably do this...
B for sure.
...is Metro Boomin.
3 days?
Metro Boomin has a lot of tracks.
3 days of a Metro DJ set?
Yeah, he's got to bring a bevy of people out.
No, for sure. But
the lyrics.
I'm just saying of like his own record. If he was doing his own records,
easily.
Like he has enough records himself.
A producer's a cheat code, fam.
Yeah, for sure.
Artists, what do you think?
Well,
B.
Oh yeah, Beyonce for sure. Who else are you thinking?
Taylor for sure. Taylor could easily do it.
Yeah, I guess technically, but I'm like, does Wireless want to see like?
Nah, hell no.
That has to be a certain crowd. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, I agree. So I'll put B in there.
You know who's really on there?
Nicki could do it.
Nicki could do it. You're right.
Yeah.
Nicki could do it. Future
could. That third day is gonna be a lot of mask off.
Maybe do Future and Friends.
Future and
Friends, easy. That's easy.
Bring out 21.
Yeah,
bring out Lil Baby.
Ooh, they could do like just like an Atlanta takeover.
Oh no, they'll smash 3 days.
That'd be crazy.
I would like to see Atlanta takeover though, but it's the old Atlanta.
Oh,
it's like Gucci, Jeezy, T.I.
Is that a concert idea?
Ooh,
in Atlanta, do Atlanta takeover?
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
One person we didn't mention, who's probably an obvious one, Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars could do it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Especially because he has all the Anderson .Paak stuff too, and he has his own hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, who else are we? Oh,
The Weeknd.
I was gonna say The Weeknd.
You think Chris could?
Chris Brown? Yeah.
It'll be a little tight, but I think he could do it.
Nah, he could do it, man. Because I think at least the last era Chris Brown, the past like 6-7 years, I don't know the hits. But every once in a while, I go on his Spotify page and there's some song I never even seen before.
On his latest shit.
With half a billion streams. So
he's got diehards.
Yeah, Chris Brown would be a good one. Oh, you know who would actually do it? It's crazy we didn't mention him at all. Is Vybz Kartel.
Oh yeah,
Vybz Kartel could do.
That's food.
That's easy. That's food.
Yeah.
That's light work.
But I think those are the ones. Like, are we forgetting anyone who's like at least active? Like legacy acts, no different story, but
active. Nah, it's getting a little shaky now.
No Ariana Grande. No Justin Bieber probably could.
Biebs. I forgot about the Biebs.
I think Post Malone probably could.
Post.
Depending on how you feel about it, I don't know. I'm not even a Post fan, but
he could.
He's got like different eras, right? If you
go
like
early 10
Post,
Diamond Records, I heard the other day. Like that's fucking nuts.
You know that's what I'm saying, man.
He's the first nigga with a double diamond.
Yeah, wow. And he's a diamond album.
I don't know. I knew he was popping, but I didn't know he was popping like that. Like he's gonna end up like in some big GOAT conversation when it's all said and done, numbers wise.
I think Post probably would be a no for me, just because the pre-country part of his career, there's not that many good records, and I know people who are huge fans of him. And they're like, when they saw him live during that era, he was still doing mostly the hip hop stuff. So it's like, I mean, does he have enough hip hop for 2 nights and then the country could be the last night?
That's what I was thinking, you know?
Hip hop 2 nights. I guess he could.
Separated by like your different eras of Post.
Yeah. Miley Cyrus. Does she?
No, I don't think so.
So is that, I think we got everybody with that?
I think we got everybody. Okay. Let us know in the comments though. Who do you think could perform 3 days straight at Wireless Fest?
And if Beyonce came out and then, had a little Destiny Child set.
Destiny's Child for a whole day?
That could be the first day will be Destiny's Child for sure.
Maybe a couple solos from Kelly, let her do her thing. Maybe Nelly comes just for,
lit. That'd be lit.
Shout out to Kelly and Nelly.
Big shout out to Kelly and Nelly. Yeah. That's the thing. When you think about it now, it's like a lot of artists can't even do 2 days.
Oh, for sure.
So 3 days.
2 day conversation, it spreads a little bit.
Yeah. You could bring in more people. Juice WRLD, Kendrick.
Yeah. Kendrick could do 2 days. Kendrick can't do 3 days. For
sure. So tell me about your weekend. I think I know what you did, but I want you to tell people what you did this weekend.
I did my first sit-in movie experience. So what's it called? The VIP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did the VIP for the first time. I watched Captain America.
I saw you posted that. So that was your first VIP movie?
Yes. Yeah, I've been at the VIP theater, but I didn't do like the VIP movie experience where like they come and bring you alcohol and all that shit.
Oh, so you the first time
Yeah, so I was like, yo, waiter over here. Like,
you were living.
Yeah, I was sitting back. The seat like kind of reclined a little bit. It was comfortable.
How was that?
They brought the food out to me. My food wasn't the greatest, I'll say that. But the drink was really good that I got. And just the vibe of just sitting back and eating food and I felt like I was home. It did cost me $100, but it felt like I was home.
100%.
But it was a good vibe, though. It was a good vibe.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The VIP movie is...
It's one of them ones still. Yeah. Like, it's something I definitely recommend everybody do like once a year, especially if you're like a movie person.
And I like going on your own to VIP movie. Like, that's its own.
I want to do that. That sounds like a vibe.
Yeah, that used to be like my little self-care, like, take myself to a VIP movie.
Yeah.
I fell asleep a lot. But a great sleep though.
The VIP chairs are different from the regular chairs. The ones that the brokies sit in.
But what I did this weekend is I watched whatever you want to call that All-Star game that the NBA did.
Okay.
Absolutely horrible.
Can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, it was like so little basketball, too much Kevin Hart.
Yes.
Like too much other stuff going on. And it's funny, someone said this on Twitter, which I never thought before. They said, how is Mr. B so popular? He's probably the least charismatic person on a microphone I've ever seen.
Yeah, was it halftime?
Yeah.
When they did the 100,000? That was boring.
Yeah, I didn't get it. So I don't know. It was funny. They almost made it worse than it had to be because two things. I think the new format worked. We were texting about it.
Yep.
40 points is probably too little.
It is.
I think even 60 wouldn't be bad.
60 is good, and the format itself led to more competitive play.
Yeah, the second game, like they almost lost the OGs.
Yeah, and that was fun to watch. But it was just overall, there was so little basketball. How'd you feel about Draymond's comment with the Rising Stars?
I actually understand him, but I just think that like Chuck is also right in what Chuck said of like
I loved Chuck's rebuttal.
Like
to that.
y'all messed up the game, so this is what's happening.
Yeah, it's the 2010 Stars' fault why we have to try all these crazy things.
Yeah. I agree with him. Because it's like it is kind of weird. Someone said this of like when you see them panning and it's going from like Kevin Durant to Zach Edey. Like, love Zach Edey, but it's like, you're like, what
you don't
game
belong here. Yeah,
what game are we watching right here? You know, is this really the All-Star game?
100%.
So that was a bit weird. But the Rising Stars team did almost win. So
no, they were hooping.
They served their purpose.
They had something to prove.
They were up in that game with like, a few points to go. So they served their purpose. We've been talking about how do people fix the All-Star game. People saying do East versus West again. Should the winning team get home court? I'm not for the winning team getting home court. I personally don't like that because I feel like it kind of devalues the regular season. And if you're a top team, it's like, what am I really playing for if home court's already decided in the finals? So there's that bit to it. But what I do think we want to see is a one-on-one tournament. And I think that there is something there in terms of fixing it because the Unrivaled Women's Basketball League, they had a one-on-one tournament.
That was fun to watch.
That was very fun to watch. And what I thought about was, one, there were some big upsets that people didn't see coming. Like, I think that was...
Yeah, Breonna Stewart lost.
That was a crazy one. But even Jewel Lloyd losing in the second round, too. Like, big upsets as well. And then as well, like, you could include some non-All-Stars, and this would be the way to include them. Because there are some non-All-Stars that are good one-on-one players that maybe they're not an All-Star that year or the All-Star adjacent. Like this year, Kawhi was an All-Star. But you want to see Kawhi in a one-on-one tournament.
For sure.
Trae Young and Tyrese Maxey both almost didn't make it in the All-Star game. Trae Young eventually did. But those are two guys you want to see in the guard category.
Do you think that ego-wise that this current era of players are too fragile to lose?
I think some. I think there's some, but I think most of them are not, because I do think the ones we do really want to see, like I'll throw out kind of my early guys if we're making this a bracket of 12. Kevin Durant got to be in there. Kyrie Irving got to be in there. Steph Curry got to be in there. Those three guys I don't think will be too scared to go ahead to have anybody. So I think those are the main guys who be, if they go hard.
And it's the NBA, bro. Like the eighth man on the bench can beat the top starter any day one-on-one. Like it just depends on the night sometimes. Like if you put Emmanuel Quickly against Steph Curry.
Emmanuel Quick gets the buckets.
Quick might beat him in a one-on-one. Yeah. Nobody said Quick is better, but Quick can beat him.
But I think that's probably how we protect it, is don't include players who are that far from the top.
Okay.
Even though Quick is still a good player, I don't mean to say that far like that. But like a Tyrese Maxey level. He's not an all-star every year. He's been an all-star before. If Steph Curry loses to Tyrese Maxey, that doesn't feel like it's as crazy. Emmanuel Quickly's not as much of a name to people where it's like, I never heard of Emmanuel Quickly until he beat Steph Curry.
Gotcha.
So you don't want to have that situation. But I want to see the big men go head-to-head. Like, I want to see, Giannis versus Victor.
Pause. Yeah.
That's crazy to even pause that. Giannis versus Victor, I want to see them two go against each other.
Not the Giannis versus Victor. It was the big men going head-to-head.
Yeah, head-to-head. No, I know.
I'll delete all of that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Giannis, Victor.
Embiid, I think we can take him out of it. I just think, like, he hasn't earned the right to be in this.
Facts.
You know, like Embiid versus Jokic, everyone says that, but like take Embiid out of it. Jokic versus Cat.
Yeah.
That seems like more of
D-Book, get D-Book in there.
Yeah, D-Book in there. Like, so I think there's something to this. The main thing I think is like,
what would the rules be for the one-on-one tournament? Are you going positions versus the same positions? What's the score? Are we doing ball back after bucket? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, make it, take it, ball back. I think similar to the women's rules.
You want to do make it, take it?
Yeah, 2-11. Because like it's about defense to me. Like when I played one-on-one, it's like Chuck always says, scoring is the easiest part of basketball.
True.
You know, defense is kind of like really where you see the difference between the guys. So it's like if you have someone who can only play one way and they can't guard no one, you're gonna have a tough time in one-on-one. Someone like a Kevin Durant, who plays both ways, Anthony Edwards, who plays both ways.
You know, somebody's gonna get shut out if they do make it, take it.
That's what happened with Breanna Stewart, basically.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's, you want to see that because you want to see the guys actually fight. It's like if I'm only playing defense, I'm only playing offense. You know, I'm not gonna maybe sweat as much. But if I gotta, you know, stop him to get the ball back, you know, there's something there. But I think maybe we should have like 2 brackets. Like, you know, maybe it's 24 players total.
You could do guards and wings, and then you could do forwards and bigs.
Yeah, like perimeter players versus front court players.
Yeah,
because I think like Tatum and Brown, you want to see in it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, I want to see in this.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Tyrese Maxey versus Zach Edey.
Yeah, yeah, like Jimmy Butler versus Steph Curry is like, that's going to be a tough
yeah. I like that
matchup. So I like the 2 brackets. I don't think they'll actually do this, though, if I'm being honest with you. I don't see it really happening.
Adam Silver, one thing I like about him, and I don't know your take on this, but I like the fact that he's at least trying. He does a little too much, 100%. And I think the NBA is too dipped into consumerism right now, and I don't like that. There's way too many ads. But in terms of him trying, he's trying. Like, he listens to the fans. Like, the All-Star game was trash this year, but it's been trash the last, like, 8 years. Like,
try something new.
Yeah, it hasn't been good since it was in Toronto, in my personal opinion.
And I think, like, if you think about things that have been added, like, the challenges have been helpful in terms of challenging a play.
Yeah.
The play-in tournament.
Play-in tournament was a great idea for me.
The in-season tournament.
Yeah.
You know, so I think his willingness to try is helpful here.
Yeah.
Who would be your number 1 pick in a tournament like this? Like, who would you have ranked number 1 like March Madness?
KD.
The same for me.
Yeah, that's unguardable.
Yeah,
easy.
I think KD would almost be like the Drake in this category, where it's like whoever beats KD, people will rate the most. Even if you beat KD and then lose, if you beat KD in this tournament, everyone's about okay. Like, but KD has matchups that he struggles with because Ant gave KD the business.
Are you calling Drake a snake?
Let's see what you did there.
I don't know. I'm just joking.
You got bars, eh?
I'm trying, man.
Tatum gave KD the business.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
So KD has some tough matchups in there.
For sure.
I think the player that people want to see that I don't care to see is probably LeBron. Because LeBron doesn't have a bag like that.
And not at this point in his career, too.
Yeah,
would you want to see like a LeBron versus Wemby? Like just to see like the passing of the torch? Like see, I just want something they got to do something that like brings back like the rivalry aspect that like really makes them want to push each other.
I want stars versus stars. I see what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Wemby's crazy because he's 7'4".
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want stars versus
Wemby versus Giannis.
That's a decent one. Yeah, I like Wemby versus Giannis.
Yeah, because I think you want to make it competitive, but it's like I think the normal one, it's not passing the torch, but Kevin Durant versus LeBron would be the normal matchup. At this point in their careers, they're both still good.
Yeah.
But can LeBron couldn't guard Kevin Durant in 2017.
Yeah.
So, but even now, I don't know.
I think Adam Silver should at least look into it. I think a lot of fans have been clamoring for it. These are my fixes going into the new All-Star. You guys ready? Keep the 3-point shootout. Can't do nothing about it. Dunk contest, to me, is dead. We can't keep begging Mac McClung to come back. It's just what it is.
Yo.
Okay? Keep the skills competition. Keep the celebrity game.
Before you go on, what do you think about Josh saying he'll dunk next year? Giannis saying that. Zach said he might.
If I hear that in December, I'll believe it. Because we keep going through the same cycle.
Yeah, you're tired of being lied to.
I'm tired of it.
That's fair.
Ever since LeBron pump faked us, how many years ago? I'm tired of it. So if I hear it in December, let's rock with it. Let me continue now. The celebrity game, keep the celebrity game. It's a good look for the whole league having celebrities pull up. That's fine. I have no issue with that. Now, the Sunday. Keep the tournament. Cut the ads. I don't give a fuck about Mr. Beast. If you want to work with us in the future, that's fine. But in terms of the All-Star Weekend, I don't give a fuck about Mr. Beast, okay? That's it. So cut that whole 18-minute segment. I don't care that the TNT... I love the TNT guys, but I don't care in that moment that we have to do a send-off for them, okay? We could save that for after the broadcast, okay? There's always a 30-minute segment after. Let them do it after.
Yeah.
That's fine. Keep the tournament. Have a third-place game. It's not fair for the first team that loses on each side of the bracket to just sit down for the rest of the day. True. You played one 60-point game, now you're done? No, we're going to do a third-place game, and we're going to do a first versus second. Done. Okay? So the two losers can play, so at least I can see the other all-stars.
I think they should do an actual tournament style, one step above what you're saying. Remember back in the day when you were tournaments and you play every team in your group, and then you go on
like a round robin.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm fine with that too.
Make it like a week long or something.
No, still make it same day.
Same day?
But it's just like 5-hour broadcast. But it's just actually more basketball going on. Still the short games, the 50 or 60 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's like you actually play every team first. Then there's another round. Then there's... Because I think the actual rivalry, quote unquote, in the All-Star game would be from playing a certain team twice.
Yeah.
You know? And maybe you play them originally at 2 and then you guys rematch at 6. And I feel like we would like more basketball. Because we were complaining basketball wasn't good. What's the only thing worse than that is getting less basketball.
Bro, it was like getting an album with too many snippets.
Yeah, more snippets and songs.
Yeah. I don't care about the snippets and the skits.
Yeah. I actually felt so bad about it because at the same time as that was going on, you had the Four Nations face-off going on.
Yes.
And I was like, anyone who's competing in basketball against hockey right now...
Levels.
Good luck.
Levels. Because Four Nations face-off was absolutely crazy. And like, if any of y'all follow Chris on Instagram, Chris was tapped in, okay? He was losing his voice all weekend, screaming at his TV.
Do your thing, Chris.
Yeah. We gotta get to the ISO right now. Okay, we got the flag. There we go.
No, man, the Four Nations was great. Was great. You know, yeah, honestly, like I saw, like, yeah, just Twitter, the way they were acting. Because normally, like, hockey's like lower watched. Like, it's not many people play
not as much
it.
engagement on Twitter.
Not as much as engagement. Like, in their world, they are. But it's like you had all sorts. Like, you had NFL players tweeting about it.
Yep.
I think that the NBA could take notes on, like, all right, like you're talking about, like a tournament kind of thing, something to bring that rivalry back. Like right now, I think with hockey, like it's funny because you have like this is technically an all-star event, and Canada-US Saturday all-star event, 3 fights in 9 seconds. Like you have guys in the NBA who are like, oh, my foot's sore, I'm gonna sit this one out. Like
it's the opposite of the NBA All-Star game. Like because I'm happy you said that because Four Nations Face-Off is actually an all-star event. Yeah. But they're taking it so serious, people are forgetting it's like supposed to be like a showcase for the game. And it's really they're going so hard. Yeah. It's like, could you imagine a tussle in the first quarter of an all-star game? Never.
How many fights were in the first minute and a half?
9 seconds, there were 3 fights. So
that's fucking crazy.
Before the puck even dropped, we had Matthew Tkachuk going at it with Hagel. Then we had his brother Brady, just the same line. He goes in as soon as they go to drop the puck. Brady Tkachuk grabs Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett's a beauty.
That was wild.
And Sam Bennett was probably like 20 pounds under Brady. Brady's a big boy. And then the whole time, people were thinking, like, before the Brady fight happened, they're like, JT's beaking at someone, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that other fight goes down. Puck goes into the other end, like 9 seconds into the game. Yeah. And then you got JT Miller trying to scrap Parayko.
These guys are fighting. It's like, what did Alicia say? She wants a nigga that can fight?
Yeah.
She should have watched this.
Seriously, man.
I think the Canadians are low-key scared.
What? Canadians are low-key scared, dude.
I don't know.
Canadians are low-key scared?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it upside down. Come on, get it right.
We gotta get that right.
There you go.
But, no, the Canadians are not low-key scared. You know, you know what? I think with all the politics going on in the 51st state shit, it definitely like played into it.
100%.
Brought up that hype, but it's always been like that. Like you always have Canada has been the best hockey nation forever, right? Mm-hmm. US has always been the little brother poking the bear. They got like 3 or 4 gold medals. Last 20 games, Canada won 14, US has won 4, and there was a tie. So there's really nothing to talk about yet for the Americans. They got to step their game up. They got to get some hardware going.
Yeah, talk to them.
But no, it was just an amazing game. Like that Saturday night, like you could just hear it in the arena, like just watching it, all the lights, people are singing along with "Oh Canada." You know, I'm not one for the booing the other anthems. Like that's not, I don't love that. I get why Canadians did it with all the 51st day shit and all that stuff with Donald Trump. So I understand it. I wish they didn't. I would have liked if they kept quiet, heard a pin drop, no one say a word, and then when the Canadian national anthem go crazy.
We booed the anthem at the Raptors game.
That's what I was gonna say. It's been booed at a few Canadian arenas like over the past couple of weeks. So I feel like it was on brand for nations for them to boo as well. But I think there's 2 things that really come to my mind, because you're right. Americans probably feel so great about being so close to us in terms of how good we are at hockey, because the gap was so huge for so long. Now it's like they've closed the gap enough where they're like, that's a win almost in a sense. And they've actually won against us a few times. In other sports, is there like a parallel where you could see like another sport having
like a four nations?
Yeah. Like I think basketball could. I would say it'd probably be like America, France, Australia.
Canada
by talent-wise, but they haven't earned that. I think it'd probably have to be, where's Jokic from?
Serbia? They only got him and Bogdanovic.
But they've earned it. Like they always perform. They're always in the quarterfinals, semifinals. Canada has a talent, but we ain't never go nowhere.
Yeah, but I think you gotta have Canada in there, man. I think it's being so close to the States. There's got to be that little rivalry there.
I agree with you. I know overall we haven't earned it. Like if we're being objective, honestly, like I know we're all Canadians and we know the talent we have.
We made it to the Olympics. We didn't do the greatest, but we made it.
Yeah, like these other teams have showed up in every single tournament, you know. So, but I think it could be in basketball, like competitive and like maybe some same energy, because I think France had a little bit of that at the Olympics this past summer.
Yeah, for sure.
They had a little bit of that energy for the U.S. So
what if it'd be kind of hard. Like they did this in hockey a little while ago, where they had like the whatever cup game, and it was like U.S., Canada, and they had like a North America team. But then if you're like, because I was gonna say like you could do the different countries, and then you could have like Canada, another country, like they could be like their own team. But then you don't get that same passion where you're like, I'm playing for that flag. I'm playing for my team. Right? Yeah. So maybe that might kind of muddy it a bit.
I like the idea for basketball though.
Yeah,
I think that's the next.
Baseball could do it too.
Baseball, football could do it too. Like European football.
Yeah, European football could do it too. I think it's because it's only the 4 nations. Because when I saw the one that's happening now, I was like, are these the right 4 nations? Like I know it's happening in Canada. And, you know, Washington States are their own thing. But I was like, do you think they got it right? Because I feel like they could have had another nation in there.
And it's Russia. Like we all know.
Russia's up there.
It's like Canada, Russia, the States, like on the tier of like talent, I would say. But with all the political stuff, Russia's not allowed because they're not allowed in the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, so I hope they figure it out and can be in the Olympics next year, because it makes for a better product. Like put the politics aside.
Well, see, Orange Man is trying to settle some things out.
Agent Orange, yeah. That's why I liked that it was so competitive, because I do feel like Russia is the obvious, you know, team that's not in there.
Yeah.
So for it to still be as competitive as it is, it's like usually if the number 2 team is not involved, the competitiveness goes way down, and it didn't. So
yeah, and who doesn't want to see Ovechkin in there like doing his thing? You know, just laying bodies,
that's a big old man,
tucking it. You know, but no, it was a great weekend for hockey, man. Great weekend, and we by the time this comes out, we got the rematch Thursday in the U.S. barn, TD Boston.
Yeah,
we get a score prediction from you, Chris.
Oh yeah, Canada's gonna win 4-2.
Okay.
4-2.
He said that without a bit of hesitation.
4-2, easy. Light work. Bennington, you got to show up. No soft goals.
He already showed up. Like, this is afterwards.
Yeah, he showed up. So, yeah, you're right. Good job, Bennington. You held it together.
There you go.
4-2 Canada. 2 fights.
So you got to blind rank these 5 Black television programs. I want to choose ones that I either have known you've seen, or that I know the internet will hate you if you rank too low. Okay?
Love it.
I prepared for this my entire life.
You did.
And I think out of all of our blind ranks, I've so far had the least polarizing one.
Fair.
So far, at least, we're going to be doing a lot of these, but I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit. I think I'm pretty good at the blind ranks.
Okay, so first and foremost, this show, I think, when I thought this, I had to make it first because I'm like, this will set the tone for where we're headed.
Okay.
And that's Atlanta.
Wow. I feel like you're going to do a lot of old school, a lot of classic, a lot of nostalgia mixed in with some new. I do love Atlanta.
Okay.
Shout outs to Earn. Shout outs to Paperboy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to put it at 4.
Okay. That seems safe-ish.
Okay.
Safe-ish.
Okay.
This is a show that you spent many a time sitting right beside me, arguing and defending. I'm giving it away by even saying this.
Oh boy, I know what it's gonna be.
But that's Power.
Oh man, shout outs to just knowing that you're with your wife, but you just like your first love more. Ghost stopped everything in his power to be with Angela. But I have to show Power a lot of respect because it's spun off into multiple shows, right? And it really launched a career for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put this at a confirmed 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got Atlanta over Power for sure.
Okay. This one would probably be my number one personally.
Wow.
And I would probably choose number one no matter what else you choose, just out of safety.
Okay.
That's the Chappelle Show.
Oh, that is tough. So I got 1, 2, and 3 left, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to put the Chappelle Show because I'm still waiting. I feel like you have something crazy coming out. So to be safe, I do think the Chappelle Show is the greatest sketch comedy show of all time, right? I'm going to put it at 2.
Okay. That's safe because you don't know what else is going to be on
exactly.
here.
I'm going to put it at 2 just to be safe.
Playing the long game.
But it is one of the GOATs for sure.
I'm going to throw this one in here for all people who have been watching this podcast for some time. Okay, this is like an Easter egg to our listeners and followers.
Okay.
That's Martin.
Damn, man. Why? I should have given you that first, man. I'm going to put Martin at 3. I
did it for the people who want to see Martin at a higher spot. You know what I mean? I shot at Martin enough.
That was pretty polarizing, that little Martin segment you went on there.
Yeah, I stand by it, honestly.
I rate you.
Prove me wrong.
All right, so I got Martin at 3. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're giving you like a kind of a default number one spot.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of great shows I didn't include. Maybe we could even do a part 2 of this. This could be a part 2. But the last one is Snowfall.
Personally, I probably wouldn't put it at number 1, but I'm not mad at it being at number 1. To be honest, I think I did a good job. I think I did a really good job.
Okay, you got Snowfall at number 1.
Snowfall 1.
Chappelle Show at number 2.
That's not bad.
Martin at 3.
That's not bad.
Atlanta at 4. Power at 5.
I think I did pretty good.
I think the one thing on here that's super agreeable for me is Power at 5.
Yes.
Again, if it was up to me, I'd put Power at 7. But I think Power at 5 is the one no one can argue with.
Yes.
But I'm sure they will. In the comments, let us know. But I think you did good, actually.
It's not bad.
Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah. I think I did a pretty good job. I think Snowfall, I'm more a drama guy. Like, I love my comedies. Chappelle Show is the GOAT in terms of comedy, black comedy, in my opinion, sketch form. So, yeah, I'll go Snowfall just because I'm personally more of a drama guy.
Okay, before we run this back, because I think this is probably going to be our last episode of Black History Month. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Before we run this back one more time, because I think there's probably 10 more shows we could do this with. Do we count The Wire as a black show?
Yes.
Yeah? Chris, what about you?
I think so.
The most notable characters are black, and the setting that they're on thrives off of black culture.
I've always questioned that a bit because as the show goes on, it's less about the street life. But there are black people in the political, educational world. So I think it is a black show.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Let me be honest. 71 episodes flew by. Flew by like a bird in the wind. Okay? 71 episodes of the Mayor's Office podcast. AdrielSmiley.com, Chris Stacks Edwards, Ralph, a.k.a. The Mayor. I hope you guys are all staying warm and shoveling your snow. Don't make your parents do it. You're grown. You know how we close the podcast? We do our animation suggestion. We do our non-rap suggestion. And a creator showcase. I'm going to start with the animation suggestion. Season 3 of this Amazon Prime show, based off of Robert Kirkman's graphic novel. I want to do a big shout out to Invincible. It's one of the best animated shows out. Okay? Season 3, they're planning to do 8-9 seasons. It's great. The writing's great. The characters are really in depth. Like, I really, really appreciate Mark. He's voiced by one of Robert Kirkman's characters in The Walking Dead, the Stephen Ewan. If you guys know who Stephen Ewan is, very talented actor. Glenn from The Walking Dead. He's also in Beef as well. I don't know if you guys have watched Beef. I'm pretty sure you watch Beef. Yeah. Stephen Ewan is a great, great actor. And the voice cast is amazing. Seth Rogen. There's just a ton of people. Like, I can't just sit down and list everybody, but there's a ton of people. J.K. Simmons as well. So, Invincible Season 3, if you guys haven't watched it, get on it. They're dropping an episode weekly, so you do have time to catch up. And I know we didn't get a chance to talk about our top 3 favorite shows, but I just wanted to do something special for everybody. The best show that I've been able to watch in the last few years. A show that keeps me engaged to the levels that I felt when I watched Breaking Bad. I want everybody to watch Severance. I think Severance is one of the greatest pieces of fiction written this decade. And I think everybody should watch Severance.
I'm catching up on the new episode tomorrow.
You're a Severance man?
I'm a Severance man.
Yo! Let's get it! Yeah. Any age role hilarious.
Okay. I was very, very dubious because the main dude was also in Parks and Rec.
Adam Scott.
I didn't love him in that, so I was like, I don't want to watch 10 hours of this guy.
He does a lot better in this.
A lot better. I'm not ready to go on the limb you're on, but I was very impressed with the first one.
Yes.
First season.
First season was amazing television.
Second season is
it's better to me.
It's very good, but I think I got to see how it finishes.
That's fair. Because the first season finished perfect.
Yeah, I think this new season, a lot is happening.
A lot.
But I think you got to see how it wraps up, how it all makes sense.
Yes.
But one of the few shows that I said actually lived up to the hype. So I'm with you in some way that Severance is very good. Almost living up to the hype. And then before we move on to the non-rap suggestion.
Yes.
Just came in.
Yeah.
A$AP Rocky found not guilty.
Wow.
So all of you who were worried about him going to jail, in a sense, and I mean this extremely tongue-in-cheek, this probably almost guarantees we don't get a Rihanna album, if that's what you guys are worried about, because, she'll be happier than ever that her man is out safe.
Crazy.
You're not getting no album when she's happy.
You're getting another baby from them for sure.
Yeah.
What?
Love that for them.
Shout out to A$AP, man.
But shout out to A$AP on, not going to jail. But yeah, Severance actually lived up to the hype. And then I've also been watching Ted Lasso.
Good show. Yeah, quality. Yeah. Apple TV actually stepped up their game, man.
No, someone tweeted that. They said Apple TV has like almost all good shows, but no one's ever seen them.
Yeah.
That is changing a little bit though. Like Silo as well is good.
I heard Silo's good. There's a show called Shrinking.
Shrinking.
Well, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Apple TV.
Yeah. I got a free Apple TV for like when I bought my MacBook for like 3 months, and I was so surprised. I was like,
did you use it yet?
I used it. I'm done now, so I might even have to re-up on the
Watch
subscription.
Severance, man. I think you'll love it, bro.
Yeah, I've literally like all over Twitter. I keep hearing people talk about the show, and I was
like, it's such a simple concept, but it's just done so intricate.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, it's really good. I'm like, what is this going to even be about? But it's like it actually is. It's woven together well. Like there's not that many holes in it.
There's a lot of shows that give you a ton of questions, which is cool. But then they don't give you answers. Like Severance will give you 10 questions, but then they'll give you like 7 answers. And then they'll give you another 5 questions, and they'll give you 3 answers. So you still got 5 questions left over. But you're still getting some answers. It's not like Lost where you're like, yo.
You're not in the dark. Yeah,
what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Lost me.
Chris, you want to start with your non-rap suggestion?
Sure. So I'm going back to I guess it's probably the 90s, early 2000s. But we're going Sex and Candy, Marcy Playground.
Ooh, big tune.
Yeah. Came on shuffle the other day, and I was like, oh, this is a good little jam.
Very good. Very good.
I like it.
Maroon 5 did a cover of that. Actually liked it.
Really?
It actually like it's like a lot more. It's can't say upbeat, but it's just like a more colorful.
That makes sense.
Yeah, obviously, but it's still good. Still good. Sex and Candy, big tune.
Cool. Do you want me to go next?
I can go next.
All right, do your thing.
This one, I actually heard this song in the snowstorm, and I almost was like, "What is going on here?" in my headphones. I listened to like a real like old soulful album. Let me see when did this album come out? Is Spotify going to tell me, or is it one of those ones where it's remastered and I won't know? Well, it's Teddy Pendergrass.
Big Teddy.
Yep. The original go 1979. So
nice.
we're getting that episode.
So you were snowed in listening to Teddy Pendergrass.
I was snowed in the snow listening to Teddy Pendergrass.
Okay.
Sounds like an Action Bronson line.
Yeah. Were you by yourself?
No, I was with the family. I was with the family.
Okay. All right.
But Teddy Pendergrass, to me, one of the most underrated artists of all time. I may have said this before on the pod, but he did an all women's tour where every city was women's only shows and they all sold out. Who could do that now is a real question. There's a few people,
It's
of
like
course.
the original Prince.
Really the original.
Damn.
But yeah, he was breaking all the records before Michael.
Sounds like a Chris Brown concert.
Yeah, Chris Brown could probably do it. He could probably do it. But the first verse of this song is what made me had as my non-rap suggestion, because I was listening and I stopped it and said, Siri, what am I listening to right now? And he says, turn off the lights and light a candle. Tonight I'm in a romantic mood. Let's take a shower. I said a shower together, yes. I'll wash your body. You'll wash mine. Rub me down in some hot oils, baby, and I'll do the same thing to you.
I think we found our new content piece. Adriel reads
Teddy Pendergrass lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that and I was like, this is definitely from a different era. Like, people don't talk like that anymore. And to start out the song with "Let's take a shower together," it's like
R&B now is so vulgar,
Yeah, like now it's like, let me put my thumb in your butt.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
people were making love. Yeah, they weren't just fucking.
Hot oils in the shower. You know
Crazy.
what I mean? Romantic, intimate, sensual. So post Valentine's Day, this is a good song for that.
Facts. I like that. Shout out to Teddy. I got my barbecue playlist going.
Okay.
I gotta prep it, get it ready. If you're Caribbean, you know the vibes. Chris, any of the barbecues we do, you're gonna hear this one for sure. And I know you know this song.
Of course.
So Pressure Bus Pipe. I'm going with the classic. Love and Affection.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep.
Beautiful song. That's one of those songs. As a Caribbean child, you've heard that song while you were in the womb up until your last day on the planet.
Yeah, that's one of those songs that like it's just always been around. You don't even know when you heard that song.
Yes.
Because I probably added that song on Spotify like maybe 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I've heard it for
timeless, bro.
Forever. Yeah.
Timeless.
I actually heard that song live in Jamaica.
Oh wow.
Spiritual experience.
That's amazing. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And last but not least, our creator showcase. I want to give a big shout outs to this gentleman. He actually listens to the pod very consistently. He wants to work with us in the future, and we're always willing to work with Toronto creators. But I want to chat about Billy. Billy does therapy. Billy does athletic therapy. Billy is a massage therapist. He does RMT, and he works really well. Okay? He has great clients, great reviews. If anybody needs an RMT, use your work benefits. Go to Bill's Therapy. Okay?
That's a great one to suggest after Valentine's Day, because you might have pulled something. You might have
no comment.
You might have pushed something.
Yeah.
Comment.
And now you need an RMT. So big shout out to Bill.
Yeah, shout out to Bill Therapy, man. So yeah, Bill Therapy. You guys can find him on Instagram at Bill Therapy. You guys reach out. He's very talented. He's very good at what he does, and he's been doing it for a long time. So go to somebody you trust.
100%. And you can trust us. And we trust you guys. Thank you for making it to this part in the pod, this time in the podcast. We have some great content coming for you guys. I want to thank everyone for watching our Valentine's Day blind date video.
Shout out to Alicia again.
Yeah, it was fun to be a part of that. Again, shout out to Alicia for telling me 25 times I'm not her type, but I'm not offended at all. That didn't hurt my feelings at all. But thank you guys for watching and sticking with us. We got a lot of great content coming for you guys.
For sure.
We're trying a few new things, so we hope that you guys really, really enjoy it. Make sure you find us on all your social platforms, YouTube, subscribe to us, post notifications on Please and Thank You, Instagram, TikTok, and all our audio listeners. We need your help. Leave us a rating and a review. 5 stars, not a single star less. And until next time, know yourself, know your worth.